Hi, I'm Sophie Howard, founder of Higher Tea, and in today's video I'm going to cover off some of the tips and rules of thumb for brewing the perfect cup of tea. And you can get pretty precious about making tea just exactly as it should be, but really these are just a general guideline. Everybody's personal preference overrides any old-fashioned rules about tea, but this is, in our experience and according to tradition, the best way to prepare your different types of tea. So always warm the teapot and rinse the filter and make sure that the filter and the teapot are warm, and then put 1 teaspoon of tea, which is about 2.5 grams, into the filter, which gives the tea lots of room to expand and get the full flavour out of those leaves. And then pour simmering water on the tea, covering all of the leaves. So you don't really want the water to boil at 100 degrees because then the oxygen starts to come out. So if you can get a variable temperature kettle or turn off the element just before it gets to a full boil and leave it for a minute or two before adding it to the tea, you won't sort of scorch those leaves in the same way, and you'll retain some of the more delicate flavours. Also an important tip around temperature is don't serve the tea too hot. So especially for the more settled sort of Darjeeling first flushes, you want to not burn the mouth or have the temperature of the tea too hot on the tongue. You want that first sip to really release all the full flavour. So don't serve those more delicate teas too hot. The length of time to infuse the tea varies, and as a general rule of thumb, the more delicate the tea, the longer it can be infused for. So our blooming teas or white teas can be infused for 7 or even 10 minutes if you like, and they can also be re-steeped and reused. The green teas are somewhere in the middle, so 3 to 5 minutes is a good length of time to steep those ones, and again it comes down to personal preference. And then for the black teas, I like to give those quite a short infusion, especially some of the stronger black teas can start to taste a little bit bitter if they're over infused. And so I like to give those 2 to 3 minutes, depending on sort of how strong or delicate that particular type of tea is. But do experiment a little. I prefer not to add milk or sugar or any sweeteners or honey to my tea, but for those that do like the tea sweetened, and especially the chai tea is quite delicious sweetened and with some milk, don't use honey. Even though honey's fabulous stuff and does taste great, it can be a bit too overpowering for most of our teas. It really ruins some of the delicate flavours. So apart from maybe the chai, just stick to plain sugar, which is again a personal preference, but that's our advice. Don't go for honey, go for sugar. And then for iced teas, you would normally triple or double the normal dose of tea and let it simmer. Cover it with simmering water and infuse for 5 minutes, and then you can fill a pitcher and keep that iced tea fresh in your fridge for the week or however long it takes you to drink it. And you can even freeze it in ice cubes, which is another nice refreshing way to enjoy the health benefits of tea and get maximum flavour and full enjoyment from our fabulous teas. So if you have any questions or tips, let us know. We only sell loose leaf tea. It is definitely the premium way to enjoy top quality tea, so that flavour is really released and it's a much better product than a tea bag, where much sort of lower grade, smaller pieces of tea are used rather than the perfect tea leaves and the tips of those tea leaves. So that's the reason we stick to loose leaf and strongly recommend you spend the tiny bit of time extra it takes to make a really perfect pot of tea. And there's also some really great accessories out there, nice teaware, so that you can actually have the loose leaf tea experience but in a cup. So rather than having to make and clean a teapot each time, if you're just making 1 cup for yourself, we sell a few different styles of tea infusers where you can make it in the cup and then easily and cleanly and neatly extract those used tea leaves and also keep them in the infuser for the 2nd or 3rd infusions. So check out our website. We've got a whole range of delicious loose leaf teas and also some fabulous teaware, some really lovely teapots and strainers that will enhance your tea drinking experience. Thanks.